What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Let There Fly YouTube channel. So today, we're actually installing a Goldfinger on Seth's 2018 Can-Am Outlander 850 XMR.
Here it is.
If you guys are familiar with the Can-Am,
Sounds like a Def Leppard song.
So if you guys are familiar with the channel, I got one of these on my quad and it's a game changer.
It really is. And I noticed that.
Show them why. Stand on the left side of the quad and show them like.
Okay, so if you're in the mud and you got to go this way, you got to reach over like an idiot. This way, you put it on the left side, you really get that.
I love mine, dude. Mine works so good.
Yeah, I used yours once. I was like, wow.
It's game changing.
It is. Can you imagine how much better I'm going to be?
Don't start.
Being able to do this?
Don't start. No peanut gallery over here.
But yeah, so we're gonna throw this Goldfinger left hand throttle.
So basically, all it is, funny enough, is a BMX Goldfinger lever. So this is from back in the day. They had something called the Goldfinger. You use one finger on it. Honestly, it's called the Goldfinger because it's gold. And it's just a bicycle brake cable, basically. And then the thing that so you could actually make this yourself, technically. The thing that you have to get creative with is the bracket that actually attaches to the throttle, and that's what we're going to go over on how to do today, because you got some drilling and tapping that goes on with that. So first things first, we're going to see how you have to mount up the Goldfinger to the handlebars.
So, you said handlebars.
So with Seth's quad, it's a little bit different than mine because the winch mount.
My bracketry is slightly different than his.
So basically, we had to get a little bit of room between how I mounted mine. I think I mounted mine.
Yeah, I think I'm going to probably go here.
I might have gone like that, actually. I'm trying to think.
I think I'm going to go here because it just gives me a little bit more access. If I put it here, it's a little
tight.
You know.
Yeah, I think I might have done it the way you're talking.
So we're going to have to move everything down. Just slide it down a little bit. Doesn't need a lot of room.
Yeah, it needs, what is that, like less than 3/4 inch?
It's like 5/8 of an inch. So we got the room for it, so we're going to do it.
So on the Can-Ams here, these are 8 mils?
8 mil.
8 mil. So we're just going to loosen it up. Seth started loosening it already.
Yeah, somebody yelled at me though, so I stopped loosening it up.
Then I think for this, we got to get some Allen keys, so we just got to figure out what size that is.
We got to look. So could be a torque. I don't know.
Once we get those all together, we'll let you know what you're going to need.
Roger.
All right, so right now Seth's just seeing how much room we can get with his current setup he's got. So basically, what we just did, using an 8mm wrench, loosen up the brake lever here, and just trying to slide it over. We might have to trim this plate a little bit. Yeah, so we're gonna try to loosen this up, and we're gonna probably put the Goldfinger on the other side of this. It'll just make it more comfortable to grab. Because I mean, the only time you have to actually really hit any of your buttons here is if you're starting a quad, turning it off, or hitting your reverse override. So.
All right, this is a 4mm Allen under there. So
there you go. Get your Allen key set out.
I got lucky. It was the first one I grabbed. So
he's gonna see how far he can push that over. Worst case scenario, dude, you can pull the grip off a little bit, like because we might just need like a
fraction more.
Just a little bit more. Actually, dude, if you loosen this up, you might be able to pull that like 1/8 of an inch we need.
Maybe. We'll give it a shot.
All right, so what we did is we took a T27, loosened up the hand guard for the, oops, sorry, it's focusing on my hand. Loosened up the bolt for the hand guard, and also two 10mm in here. Got us enough room to move this all over, so now
that is the ticket.
She's gonna fit in there snugly and nicely.
I'm gonna put this in starting from outside and
pull everything against it.
Yep.
Smart. So we're gonna go ahead and get that mounted. The shank actually comes with the Allen key to tighten it. Fancy. And usually how you mount this guy, this makes it easier because of how you have to grab it anyway when you're in a mud hole, is kind of mount this way. It's underneath the handlebar actually. Just because it's, if you have it up by the brake, first of all, it's kind of a little sketch because you can accidentally hit it, but that's why it's actually got a safety pin on it.
Which Marshall doesn't have.
Yeah, I lost mine. So
lives dangerously.
I do. So yeah, right now we're gonna go ahead and use the supplied Allen key and get it installed here and show you what it should look like on the quad.
On said quad.
Yeah. So the actual circumference of the Goldfinger, which is kind of nice because if you run larger bars, like thicker diameter bars, I think they're 31.8, I think is the size. I'll throw a little thing here. But because of that, they actually include a rubber spacer, basically.
Basically a piece of clear tubing.
Yes. Yep, this fits right over top. This acts as a spacer. Then you can go ahead and throw on the top.
Throw on said piece.
So right now we're just going to tighten this up loosely because we still have to obviously put the cable and stuff in. You have to actually run the cable in through the brake lever, if I remember correctly, when I did mine. But this is more or less the position it's going to be in.
Maybe more like that.
Yeah, it's going to be basically almost all the way underneath.
This is just for...
Everything's loose until we get everything all hooked up. So now we're going to get into the hard part. We have to get the throttle assembly taken apart. So it's probably going to be the same 4mm Allen key to get this guy off here. But we actually just have to pop the top. I believe there's a screw on the top we got to pop out. And we're just going to take the throttle itself here out temporarily so we can drill and tap it. All right, so once you get all the Allen keys taken out, then we're going to go ahead and just pop the top. You'll see, you can actually see nothing. But you just pop this bottom part off, and then if you want, Seth.
A little bit of grease in there.
Yeah, they grease them. Pop that rubber out. The rubber.
This?
Yes. Oh. Get your hands all nice and greasy. So I told you to do it, so I don't touch the camera. And then, boom, and there is the throttle lever. So if you see, boom, throttle lever, yay. So we just got to take out the cable here, and then we can drop the whole entire, it's like a little shaft that goes up in. But this is where we're actually going to be drilling and tapping, is right in the bottom here. They actually kind of make it easy because there is a little notch from the factory right there that makes drilling it.
Yeah, it's like a little divot, so it keeps your bit centered.
Yes, don't really need even a punch. So right now we're just going to go ahead, get the cable out. But how I did this last time, Seth, we want to grab a pair of needle nose. Basically, yeah, I just held it wide open, hold on to the cable back here. You can undo the end there, and then you're good to go. All right, so this is what I was talking about. So basically you go wide open throttle with it, kind of grab the cable back here. Be careful and don't pinch it and bust up your line. Come back with it a little bit, and then you should see a little notch there. Kind of wiggle it out. There you go. And you just let it go. Boom. And it installs basically the same way. You just grab a hold of the cable, bring it out. But Seth already cracked this guy loose.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a bear, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take this apart. Now there is a spring in here. Be mindful of that you don't lose that, because that's a bad day, turns out.
Well, it'd be a bad day for me. Just another day for Marshall.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt while you're in here. Also, if you do have some grease laying around, to go ahead and re-grease. They just use some, it actually looks kind of like dielectric grease. Just go ahead and grease the shaft for this and stuff, because, yeah, it just helps out a lot. But then all you gotta do is, ta-da! There she is. Just makes, you can do it on the quad, but this just makes things 10 times easier having it out of the quad, because I can actually put this in the vise, work with it, etc., etc. Let's go over to the bench. All right, so we're at the bench. Got the throttle lever in the vise. Now, if you're unlike us and you want to protect your thing from being a little bit marred up, you can put some rubber in there or something like that. Just gotta hold her still for when you're doing the drilling and the tapping. But basically, it's really cool that they put together this kit like this, but you actually get the correct size drill bit. But then you also got a tap too, which is awesome. So got everything to do what you gotta do. And then here is this applied bolt that's going to be holding it in, along with the washer, I believe, goes in there too. So right now, we're going to go ahead and start drilling.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Seth, holy crap. It's really
yeah.
All right, so one thing we just did is we actually just marked with a piece of tape about 5/8 of an inch. That's what they recommend for the depth that you want to be drilling, because you have to go slightly past where you're going to be, your screw's going to be, because you're threading, or the tap has to be able to make it down that far, so you can make threads that far. So I'm going to go ahead and start drilling.
Bench drilling.
Now, how crooked do you want me to make this? So actually, one thing that they recommend is using a drill press, which I actually have right over there. But this I feel like is just gonna be a little bit easier because of how it can clamp in and stuff. I don't have a drill vise. Maybe looking straight.
There you go.
One eternity later.
There you go. That's it. And apparently it came through.
Well, that's basically what you're doing. You're just going through. But you just don't want to go through and mess up these threads, because then you can't put your tile back together, turns out. All right, so now that that's done, now comes the fun part, and that is actually tapping it. So they just give you the tap as the tap is. One thing that does help though is if you actually have the tap wrench. So I'm gonna go grab ours real quick. Otherwise you just can use a crescent wrench, or if you can find a wrench that small, which I don't even know what size that'd be, like 1/8. You know, got the snap on. That looks better than Mako. Saying. All right.
It's not a paid advertisement for Snap-on. Unless you want to pay us.
Just so happens to be my tap kit. All right, just go ahead and start threading. Now if you want to be a good boy, do a little cutting oil on her. This thing sprays like crap. Make it all nice and greasy so Seth can't hold on to his throttle anymore and crashes into a tree. Hey? Oh no, that's not supposed to happen.
That's not nice. See, now what Marshall's forgetting to do is to do that back quarter. There you go.
I know how to tap stuff. I just kind of go for it. Something this small.
All that does is it frees up the material that you
Clears
put
it,
up
yeah.
into that channel.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we can get the full usage of our screw here, which it looks like we just got to go a little bit more. All right, so next step, we're just going to go ahead.
Taking said plate.
We're just going to put it on there now, but if Seth knows how to put it on correctly, which is not, he's already doing it wrong. Goes like so. Basically, they have a flat edge here. That's supposed to go on the back side. Now, they do recommend throwing a little Loctite on there, blue Loctite. I only have some green around, so I'll have to throw a dribble of Loctite. Or if you want to be an asshole to yourself in the future, just completely coat the threads in Loctite. And then never get it out again. Just a dabbins now. Just a dab. Oh, it comes out fast. How'd he do? How'd he do? Let's see it. Let's see it. That's a lot.
It is. Now it's less.
Seth does not want this to come off because I think green is actually stronger than blue.
All right. So, I don't know where the picture is.
Turn around. There it is. Nope. This plate rides along with that edge.
So why the hell did you do?
Look at that.
Oh.
Oh. There you go. Hand-eye coordination here.
There is none.
The Allen key's there. There we go.
Roger that.
Now, we just go reverse, put this all back in the quad. Same trick with the needle nose, putting it back in, so no biggie. We'll get it. All right, so to go back together, don't forget your washer. There's a washer here that goes on the bottom, boom. And then there's a little extra grease in there, so I just put some more on the shaft here, so this way it stays well lubricated. Lubricated. It's weird I said that word. There you go. So that goes on there like so. And then you got the spring is the fun part here. So, all right, so the easiest thing to do, I just remember what I do with mine, is stuff the spring in like this. The hook end should be over here because that's what helps retract it. And then get your plate in here and work that guy just in where it's got to go. Should be somewhere right around here. Just got to line up the dealio there. There we go. And then screw in. Where's the screwdriver at?
Seth, screwdriver I can find.
Seth got a nice like 8-inch shaft screwdriver here.
What is up with you and the word shaft right now?
I'm not trying to initially just say it like that.
I'm greasing the shaft, the screwdriver shaft.
So this guy did have Loctite on it. Loctite still looked good, so we're just gonna say it's good. And tighten her down. Make sure you got good movement. We look good. The only thing we have left to do is now we just gotta hook the spring up. I have a pick. Hang on.
I would have went with a pick.
I have a really tiny little yellow jack I went for use for work here. I'm just gonna hook onto the spring, bring it around, boom. There you go, just like that. Now I just gotta get the cable on. And that we're gonna do by first off pulling it out.
Without kinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, try to pull it out without the, actually this is what I did last time. Just remembered, put it into the throttle like it's gonna be, but obviously you have to still get it into that notch there. So then you use the throttle to pull it back out and not lose it back in there again.
Jesus.
It's that 850 throttle, man, she's snappy. Literally. All right, let's try this again. Took me a couple tries last time, I remember. Probably not the best way of doing this, but it's the way I did it. So it's the way the world's gonna learn now. Now we do this. Now we hold it with the wrench like before. Now just walk her back, not like that. Get that in there. Get in there, buddy. Hard to do one-handed here. I got it. There we go. There we go. Should be like that, and then let go. Boom. Throttle back in action. Throw it all back together. So this all gets put back together the same way as the camo part, basically. Pretty self-explanatory. And then now the next part's going to be the fun part. That's going to be the cable. All right, so for this next part, the easiest thing to do is actually sit on the quad because you can actually better see how to route everything. But went ahead and took off our just little decorative piece here for the handlebar clamps. So basically what you do is you take your cable out of the bag. The end already has the cap on it. You're gonna go ahead and that just goes directly, I can't even get in there with the camera, but yeah, just have to take it. It goes right directly into the back of the Goldfinger. There's no adjuster or anything like that. And then basically you're gonna zip tie the throttle cable to the handlebars. Now we might just not take his handguards and just notch them a little bit because I might run it like this, kind of through it to over here. Now one thing I changed over what they did, I did this on mine because of the handguards, because they don't account for handguards. I actually flipped over this deal. This is what actually how you do your adjusting of the cable. Put this on the bottom rather than the top if you have the handguards, because otherwise it literally lines up directly with this. We're at the bump Seth's handguards up a little bit too, because I was having a problem with my throttle sticking. It was because it was hitting that guy. So we just got to bump his handguards up a little bit at an angle. So it's going to come right over here like this. We're going to cut it right about where it ends at the handguard basically. So this way he's got plenty of travel so he can still go full throttle if he wants left-handed throttle. I don't have mine set up that way, but Seth might want that.
Oh yeah. Full send, left-hand throttle style.
So right now we're gonna go ahead and start zip tying actually, because that's the easiest way to do this, is to just zip tie right off the bat.
And we'll catch you after we're done.
All right, so got the cable run kind of how we want it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it like I did mine, is run the cable along the bottom here. You won't be able to see it with the cover on there. Basically what I did is, for our situation, I cut it right at the end of the handguard here. Like I said, we raised this up a little bit just this way, give us a little bit more clearance, because then we're going to have just a cable protector, basically keeps moisture out, going here between the two, and this is, like I said, keeps crap from getting in there. Before we put the actual barrel end on this side here, barrel cap I think is what they're actually called from my bike days. I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to test to make sure we have enough throw by just throwing the cable in here. So basically just thread it through. Easiest way to do this is thread it through here.
Somebody's got a big handle on the camera.
There we go, get her started. Run her all the way over. There we go.
Should pop out the other side.
Yep, and then still over here, you gotta just...
There's a little cutout in there.
Yep.
That you gotta get that in.
Just hook the cable like so. You gotta be careful not to kink it though. That's the only tough part, is trying to do this without kinking the cable, because anytime you kink the cable, it's going to make it not conform like it should. There you go. Then, how it works.
Back over to Seth's side.
Yes. Seth's running around a lot. Yes. There's the golden ticket. See what I did there? Goldfinger, golden ticket.
Oh, so creative.
So, if we have this tight, I think we're going to be good with that right there.
Come on, focus on the right damn thing.
So I'm just pulling the left-handed throttle right now, testing. Oh yeah, it's gonna give him full throttle right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually just put the barrel end on here. Like I said, I think these are called barrel caps or something from my BMX days back in the day. Slide this bad boy on. This just keeps the end nice from fraying, which sometimes trying to get these suckers on is fun because the end gets all wallered out. Give her a couple of little love bites. Just boom, boom. Just two just to keep it from doing anything. Make sure you still don't want to squeeze it, because you got to make sure you can still flow good there. Throw our little protector on there. Thread this back in again. A lot of action happened here. Seth's trying to get in there. Oh, Seth's getting...
Trying to get... I'm in the way. Trying to get it all. I think I got a nice shot of your nasal passages.
Thanks. Where's that Allen key at? Just gonna snug it for now, because I see we may have to actually chop the end of this off a little bit. Not sure yet. So I'm just snugging it for now, just to see how she performs. Oh, it wasn't in all the way. That helps. So now I gotta pull it more. Make sure it's in all the way this time. Just snug for now. Basically full throttle. That's full right there. Oh snap.
And if you need to adjust it just slightly, the beautiful part is you can add a zip tie here, which will just take a little bit of
and you just loosen this up here.
Slack.
Yeah, because all you're doing.
No, you don't even loosen that. You just, because it just tightens that cable just so ever so slightly. That, go ahead. You might have full throttle right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just by adding a zip tie onto that cable.
Because you're basically just adding a little bit more throw to it.
Yep.
More or less. So we're gonna actually just snug it up because that's pretty good right where we got her. The other thing I just want to do real quick too is test to make sure all your throttles work nice and cleanly, because the biggest thing is you don't want that sucker sticking. Had it happen already to me, that's why I did this on the bottom.
Full throttle, baby.
Ghost throttle. There you go. So there she is all installed. That's the last
This is
item.
the safety pin.
Yeah, so you want to make sure. Actually, let me come around to the other side. So you want to make sure it's right there.
Oh, I'm like.
So you want to make sure you put this pin in when you're not using the left-handed throttle.
Just in case.
Especially if you're if you accidentally go for the brake and you grab that instead, bad day. But so basically everything came out good. Everything's nice and tight here. It's really tight. It's really
it's freaking tight.
Everything's snug. But you can't really even see the cable at all. It's all hidden. And then the best part is it's kind of discreet actually, which is nice. So people don't know you have it, and then all of a sudden they see you conquering a mud hole, stepping on the left side and still powering out. They're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
So.
My handguards are like.
Oh yeah, you guys got.
Way off. Oh,
yeah, pull that one up a little bit. But not too bad.
Not bad.
All right, guys. So that is how you install a Goldfinger on your Can-Am Outlander. Basically.
Well, that's how we install it on my Can-Am Outlander.
Yes, yours install might be slightly different, but it should all be basically the same thing.
It's all going to be the same thing.
So with that, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We really appreciate everything you guys do. And Seth, where can they catch us in the social media world?
All right, you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you like all those sites, because we make announcements on where we're going to be riding in the future.
So with that, we'll have to catch you guys next time on
Let Her Fly.
Have you forgotten?